Beyond the silence, the lingering mystery of Jessica Masker's disappearance. Today, we're shining a light on a case that's haunted Indianapolis for over a decade. The disappearance of Jessica Masker. Now, if you've got siblings, you know how those relationships can be. Sometimes your best friend, sometimes your biggest bully. But always, always a part of you. For Jessica's family, that bond has turned into a relentless search for answers that just don't come. Welcome to Beyond the Silence, Whispers Across America. I'm Sammy, your host, driven to shine light on the dark corners of forgotten cases, demand justice, and keep alive the voices the world has tried to silence. Let's dive into the haunting case of Jessica Masker. Her family believes foul play was involved, but her case remains unsolved. So let's go back to April 15th, 2013. Jessica was just 24 years old, a young mom with 2 kids trying to get her life back on track. The night she vanished, she'd been dropped off at her cousin's place on the east side of Indianapolis. There was an argument, and Jessica left, heading to a nearby BP gas station. It's the kind of thing that honestly could happen to any of us. Family drama, a late night walk, just trying to cool off. But for Jessica, that walk was the last time anyone saw her. At the gas station, she called her brother. She told him that 2 men came at her wrong. She asked for a ride, but her brother was on his way to work and couldn't help. He told her to call their mom. But for reasons nobody really understands, Jessica didn't. Instead, she called her boyfriend. And after that, she was gone. Just gone. Last seen around 4:30 in the morning near East Washington and Dequincy streets. No one's heard from her since. Now, before we get into the theories and the aftermath, I want to talk about Jessica herself. Because, it's easy for people to look at a missing persons case and just see the headlines. Young mom disappears. Drug problems. Abusive relationship. But Jessica was more than that. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and a mom to 2 little boys. Her family says she was the life of the party. The kind of person everyone wanted to be around. She had her struggles, sure. She dropped out of high school, battled addiction, and was in and out of rehab. But she was working on her GED, trying to turn things around for her kids. And sometimes people are quick to judge. Christina, Jessica's sister, talked about this. How people might look at Jessica's life and think it didn't matter because of her mistakes. But that's just not true. She was still a mom, still a daughter, still loved. And honestly, who among us hasn't made mistakes? Some of us are just luckier in how things turn out. Jessica had a tough road. She struggled in school, maybe because she was deaf in one ear. Her sister thinks that made learning harder. She was held back twice, which actually brought her and Christina closer, since they ended up in the same grade. She became a mom young, and her second child was born premature, still in the hospital when Jessica disappeared. She worked as an exotic dancer to support her kids. And her relationships, well, they were rough. The father of her first child was a good guy, but it didn't last. The second was older, abusive, and according to her family, gave her drugs and beat her. Just days before she vanished, Jessica was hospitalized after he assaulted her. He was arrested, but, the damage was already done. So let's piece together that night. April 14th, Jessica's taken to the hospital after a domestic dispute. Her boyfriend was arrested. The next day, her aunt drops her off at her cousin's house. She's planning to spend the day there, but by 3 a.m., there's an argument, and Jessica leaves for the gas station. She calls her brother, says 2 men came at her wrong, asks for a ride. He can't help, tells her to call their mom. Instead, she calls her boyfriend. According to him, she said she was at the gas station and was going to walk down East Washington Street to meet him. That's the last anyone hears from her. The area where she was last seen, it's not the safest. Her family says it's known for drugs and prostitution, not a place you'd want to be alone at night. And Jessica was tiny, just 5 feet 2 inches, 95 pounds. She was wearing a red and black jacket with a fur-lined hood, jeans, and gray and pink tennis shoes. She had several tattoos: Rob on her left wrist, Lil on her right, Travis on the back of her neck, a big flower on her back, a vine on her leg, and one on her upper right arm and shoulder. If you've seen her, you'd remember her. Police questioned her boyfriend, but he's never been named a suspect. He says he doesn't know what happened. The detective who interviewed him, though, thinks he knows more than he's saying. And a lot of the people who might know something, well, they're part of the same drug scene, and they haven't exactly been helpful to police. For Jessica's family, the search never stopped. Her sister Christina, her mom, her friends, they've held vigils, spread flyers, started a GoFundMe for a reward, and kept her story alive on social media. Every year they gather for her birthday, releasing balloons, sharing memories, and refusing to let her be forgotten. I mean, it's been more than 10 years now. That's a long time to live in limbo, not knowing. The police, for their part, have said they don't think foul play was involved. But Jessica's family just doesn't buy it. They say she would never abandon her kids, never just walk away from her family. And honestly, I can't blame them for holding on to hope. Sometimes hope is all you've got left. Her best friend Amanda said it best: somebody knows something. Somebody out there knows what happened to Jessica Masker. And her family, they're not giving up. They just want answers. They want closure. They want to know what happened to Jessie. If you're listening and you know anything at all about what happened to Jessica Masker, please reach out. You can contact the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department's Missing Persons Unit at 317-327-6160 or Crime Stoppers of Central Indiana at 317-262-TIPS. Even the smallest detail could be the missing piece. And if you want to learn more, check out the Charlie Project or the Where Is My Sister Jessica Masker Facebook page. Share her story. Keep her name out there. Because, like Christina said, sometimes all you have left are the pictures and the memories. But hope, that's something you can't let go of. That's it for today's episode. The questions remain and the search continues. Because every missing person deserves answers, and every story deserves to be heard. What are your thoughts? What do you believe happened? Share your voice, because sometimes the smallest detail can spark the biggest breakthrough. I'm Sammy, and this is Beyond the Silence, Whispers Across America. Thank you for listening, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.